I want to begin by saying something important. Situations like this often grow far beyond the confirmed facts. Once social media becomes involved, conversations move quickly, opinions spread faster than verification, and speculation can begin to feel like certainty. That is exactly what seems to be happening with the recent discussions surrounding boxing champions Alycia Baumgardner and Claressa Shields, along with the rumored relationship involving rapper Papoose, who is still legally married to Remy Ma. Because this story connects sports, music, and celebrity culture, it has reached audiences across multiple communities, creating strong reactions and ongoing debates about loyalty, responsibility, and public image. Alycia Baumgardner's comments attracted attention partly because she did not speak cautiously. In her message, she emphasized that public figures must understand that their personal decisions can carry consequences, especially when those choices involve relationships that appear complicated or controversial. She pointed out that when someone becomes romantically connected to a person who is still legally married, people naturally begin asking questions about boundaries, respect, and judgment. Whether individuals agree or disagree with her position, her words spread rapidly online, turning a private rumor into a major public discussion. What made her statement particularly influential is that she is not an outsider commenting from a distance. She is also a world champion boxer, someone who operates in the same competitive environment and understands the responsibilities that come with representing a sport on the global stage. Criticism from a fellow professional often carries more weight than comments from anonymous social media users because it suggests the issue is being taken seriously within the community itself. Fans who might ignore online gossip sometimes pay closer attention when respected peers speak openly. Many observers believe that the discussion is not only about a rumored relationship. Instead, they see it as part of a broader conversation about how celebrities handle influence. Athletes and entertainers often become role models, even if they never actively seek that position. Young fans watch their interviews, follow their social media pages, and sometimes shape their own ideas about success and relationships based on what they see. Because of this visibility, personal decisions can easily become public debates about values, character, and responsibility. In this case, people are asking whether involvement with someone who is still legally married, regardless of the private circumstances, sends the wrong message. Another element adding intensity to the conversation is the suggestion that Shields and Remy Ma once interacted in a friendly way online. Some social media users claim they exchanged positive messages in the past, which critics now reference while discussing the current rumors. If those earlier interactions were genuine, some people argue that a romantic connection involving Remy Ma's husband could appear disrespectful. Supporters of Shields, however, respond that outsiders do not know the complete timeline of events or the true status of the marriage, and therefore should avoid making final judgments. This disagreement over incomplete information continues to fuel online arguments. At the same time, many commentators point out how quickly personal matters can overshadow professional accomplishments. Claressa Shields has achieved extraordinary success in boxing. She is an Olympic gold medalist, a multi-division world champion, and widely recognized as one of the most talented fighters in the history of women's boxing. Yet recent headlines have focused less on her achievements in the ring and more on her personal life. This shift illustrates the power of digital narratives. Years of dedication can temporarily be pushed aside by a single controversy, especially when it involves multiple well-known personalities. Modern athletes face challenges that earlier generations rarely experienced. In the past, most fans saw competitors only during matches, press conferences, or occasional television appearances. Today, athletes live under constant visibility. Every post, interview, or rumor can circulate worldwide within minutes. Because of that environment, reputation management has become almost as important as performance itself. A misunderstanding, an emotional reaction, or a viral clip can dominate the conversation, even when an athlete continues to succeed professionally. The situation also remains complicated because the public does not have full clarity about the relationship between Remy Ma and Papoose. Reports have suggested that their marriage may have already been facing difficulties before the new rumors began, while other voices insist that the marriage was still active at the time the speculation surfaced. Without confirmed details, people interpret the situation according to their own assumptions. Some see a clear ethical issue, while others believe it is a private matter that should not involve public judgment at all. Baumgartner's message also raised a broader idea about the importance of honest guidance. She suggested that successful individuals need friends, mentors, or advisors who are willing to offer uncomfortable truths when necessary. Fame can sometimes create a protective environment where people hesitate to challenge the decisions of someone powerful or popular. Over time, that lack of honest feedback can lead to choices that harm a public image. Many fans agreed with her point, saying that strong support systems often help celebrities avoid situations that later become controversies. Another topic frequently mentioned in online discussions is the concept often referred to as girl code, the idea that women should maintain mutual respect in situations involving relationships. For some observers, the rumored involvement with a married man appears to violate that expectation, which explains why emotions have become so intense. Others counter that real-life relationships are complex, and that outsiders rarely know the full emotional or legal context. According to them, applying simple moral labels to complicated situations can sometimes create unfair judgments. The connection between boxing culture and hip-hop culture has also amplified attention. Both communities have passionate global audiences, and when prominent figures from each world become involved in the same story, the reach of the conversation expands dramatically. Media outlets that usually focus on sports begin discussing music personalities, while entertainment platforms start covering boxing developments. This crossover effect has helped keep the story visible far longer than many other celebrity controversies. Observers have also noted how difficult it can be for public figures to decide when to respond and when to remain silent. Speaking quickly can provide clarity, but it can also intensify the drama if emotions are high. Remaining quiet can prevent additional headlines, yet it can also encourage speculation. Finding the right balance between communication and privacy is one of the most challenging parts of living in the public eye. Many experienced celebrities eventually learn that consistent behavior over time often speaks louder than any single statement. Another issue highlighted by the situation is how rapidly online reputations can change. One moment, an athlete is widely praised for achievements. The next, the same athlete faces criticism for personal decisions. This rapid shift demonstrates the unpredictable nature of digital fame. Public support can grow or decline quickly depending on how stories are framed and repeated across platforms. Managing perception has therefore become a continuous responsibility for people whose careers depend on public visibility. Supporters of Shields emphasize that her professional accomplishments should remain the primary focus. They argue that her dedication, discipline, and achievements represent years of sacrifice and should not be overshadowed by rumors about her personal life. Many remind critics that every person faces complicated relationship situations at some point, and that judging someone solely by headlines can be unfair. From their perspective, her legacy should be measured mainly by what she has achieved in the sport. Critics, however, believe that individuals who reach global recognition naturally become examples for others, whether they intend to or not. They argue that actions outside the ring can influence how younger fans understand relationships, loyalty, and responsibility. For them, the controversy is not only about one rumored situation but also about the broader example set by highly visible figures. This difference in perspective explains why debates remain so intense. Professional rivalry may also contribute to the tension. When champions compete within the same sport, every comment can appear strategic, even when it is personal. Some fans believe Baumgartner spoke purely out of concern for the situation, while others suspect that competitive dynamics may also play a role. In highly competitive environments, even sincere opinions can be interpreted as part of a larger rivalry, adding another layer of complexity to public reactions. Long-term reputation often depends on how individuals respond to criticism. Calm, thoughtful responses tend to reduce tension, while aggressive reactions can create new waves of attention. Many public figures eventually discover that consistent maturity over time helps rebuild trust more effectively than immediate defensive statements. Audiences often forget individual controversies if they later observe growth, accountability, and continued professional excellence. Another lesson from this situation involves the relationship between personal happiness and public validation. Some commentators argue that trying to prove relationships publicly can create unnecessary pressure. When every photo or message becomes a public signal, private connections can feel less personal and more performative. Many experienced celebrities eventually choose to keep certain parts of their lives away from constant public attention, understanding that privacy can protect both emotional stability and public image. Media coverage has also played a role in extending the life of the story by revisiting earlier controversies involving the same personalities. Old interviews, previous disagreements, and past social media posts are being re-examined, sometimes creating the impression of a larger pattern, even when the events are unrelated. This demonstrates how digital history rarely disappears. Past moments can quickly return to the spotlight whenever a new controversy emerges. Another important observation is that public judgment often moves faster than genuine understanding. Many people form opinions based on short clips, headlines, or incomplete information. Only later do additional details appear, sometimes changing the entire narrative. For this reason, analysts often encourage audiences to approach viral stories cautiously and to allow time for fuller context to emerge before reaching firm conclusions. The broader context also highlights the challenges faced by women athletes competing at elite levels. They must not only maintain peak performance, but also navigate intense public scrutiny that often extends into their personal lives. Some experts argue that female athletes frequently face stronger criticism for relationship decisions than male athletes, adding another layer to the conversation about fairness and public expectations. As the discussion continues, new developments may appear, but history suggests that sustained professional success often reshapes public perception. Major fights, championships, and career milestones eventually draw attention back to athletic performance. Many athletes who have faced controversies in the past later rebuilt their public image through consistent excellence, discipline, and growth. For now, opinions remain divided. Some fans support Baumgartner's message about accountability, praising her willingness to speak openly. Others defend Shields, arguing that private relationships should remain private and that public speculation often exaggerates reality. Many observers simply watch the situation unfold, recognizing that online discussions rarely capture the full complexity of real-life circumstances. Ultimately, the story serves as a reminder of how interconnected modern celebrity culture has become. Athletes, musicians, and influencers operate within the same digital environment, where one event can instantly reach millions of people. Because of this visibility, personal decisions can influence public perception in ways that previous generations rarely experienced. Reputation, performance, and personal life now move together more closely than ever before. What happens next will depend largely on how the individuals involved handle the situation moving forward. Clear communication, respectful behavior, and continued focus on professional achievements often help controversies fade over time. Whether the public remembers this moment as a lasting turning point or simply another temporary headline will depend on the actions that follow. For observers, perhaps the most important lesson is to remember that public figures are still human beings navigating complicated lives. Achievements and mistakes both attract attention, but long-term legacy is usually shaped by consistent effort, resilience, and growth. Careers are rarely defined by a single controversy. They are defined by what individuals choose to do afterward, how they learn from challenges, and how they continue building their path beyond the noise of the moment.